Hi, hello everyone. Yeah, this is just a reflection video. Um, I just gotta say, I'm really just so happy. I feel so lucky to be able to meet these wonderful people on the internet, these strangers who are willing to allow me to ask them questions and who are candid enough to just speak their minds. It's really wonderful. Um, Uh, Also, I mean, I feel so thankful to have the family and friends that I have in my life uh, who are coming on and allowing me to ask them about things. I called my grandma earlier this week. She turned 95 in late May, and I asked her if she wanted to be interviewed. And she was laughing, and she was saying that one of my uncles really had wanted to interview her for a long time, but hadn't yet. And I said, "Well, you snooze, you lose. I'm gonna get you." So she's going to be doing an interview, I think, on Thursday night here, and maybe in two parts. I have no idea how much she really wants to talk about. I don't know, but I mean, the reason I think I've mentioned this before in previous videos, but the reason I started this project is because I did an interview with my other grandma, my mom's mom, Hedwig Marie Withers, and she was 96 at the time, and I did like pretty much like 6 hours worth of footage with her. My friend Jake, who was on earlier, helped me with it. Was a pivotal part in it actually, um, and I've just loved to I just wanted to continue this. And now I'm getting my other grandma, and she won't be around forever. And it'll be nice to have some kind of documentation on her point of view of things, so that that can be shared with my kids and also our whole family. The Fedorkos are um, a big family, and are going to get even bigger. So it'll be nice to have that online for all of the cousins and great grandchildren to see. Um, so yeah. Anyway, I have a few bullet points here of things that I wanted to ruminate on with this channel. Just a few points that really the objective of this channel is to get out of my comfort zone with people, and so far it's been decently. I've accomplished that fine. But I am making an effort to reach out to older people who are not like 16 at 20 years old, which has kind of been my main audience, or the main people that I've been talking to. It'll be interesting to get kind of an older perspective. Um, I'm also aiming to get people who are non-white. Um, Really, only two people have been non-white so far. I would love to, you know, make it even. Um, and also people who are non-men. Jenna and my cousin Aaron and Kevin were the only three who are not men. So yeah. Oh well, I mean, yeah, no, Kevin is. Um, but I guess I'm interested in bringing in also cis women. Um, so yeah, so uh, I want to thank Aaron. Aaron's video. The thing, something that I was thinking about that with this is, I think it was she very much inspired me to help me come up with the idea of a family project, and I think it'd be really cool to interview all my aunts and uncles and a bunch of my cousins too, and just kind of have that time capsule for whenever they're older and they can show their kids, and just also use it as a benchmark of as a kind of self reflection. Oh shoot! I have an interview tomorrow. I completely forgot about that. I need to confirm on actually. Okay, so I will do that later today. Oh yeah. Another thing that I've found interesting with my talk with Andrew is, and that I've talked to with Jake as well, and many other people, is the idea of the concept of not voting in elections here in America. And I think one of the reasons that was expressed by Andrew and by so many people that I know, and I mean, half of Americans don't vote in national elections, and even fewer vote in primary elections and off year voting, like 2018. Usually, the voter turnout is much lower than in the presidential election years, and people just feel disenfranchised. People don't think that things can change. How do we change that? How do we change that mindset? Um, I'm going to say represent us again, anti-corruption. That is the first step towards getting people motivated to vote. Half of Americans don't vote. I bet you a bunch of people say that they vote and don't. Um, how can we inspire people to realize that their voices mean something? That's what this whole thing is about. That's what this project is about, is for people to get people to realize that their voice and their perspective does matter. Um, I get very angry about this. I get really angry because like people like this bleeds into a bunch of my other subjects that I was going to mention, is that when kids are younger and they don't have families that care about them, they don't have parents that love them, if they come in contact with bullies when they're younger and they're made to feel small, if they don't have a support system or a church or a third place that gives them a sense of meaning or hope, those people are not going to realize how important they are. They're not going to realize their light. And we desperately need people to realize that. That's like that's the meaning of this whole grand experiment of life, in my opinion. How can we help? How can we understand the light in ourselves? First, that's really important. Of course, you will never. It's like there are a lot of thoughts here. There there is that saying that says you can't love another person until you love yourself. I disagree with that. I think that learning to love yourself is a constant process. You will never completely 100% love yourself. That's just not a human thing. But you can be aware of the process of learning to love yourself. And this is something that's similar to understanding one's light in life, is that we're always changing, right? Our interests are always changing. And I think a lot of people feel really guilty about not feeling 100% like focused on one particular thing that they know that they love and that gives them meaning and solves all the problems with their life and everything, right? Like that it just is not. It's we're so much more than that too, you know. Okay, I'm starting to get abstract. It's important to realize that we have a voice. And when we realize that we have a particular light to give, we really should encourage other people to realize their light. And it's up to us to listen, it's up to us to encourage, it's up to us to love. And I really encourage all of you to take a step in that direction. Face some uncomfortable things in yourself, some fears in yourself. I'm very fearful. I'm a very fearful and angry person, and this is a way for me to siphon that energy in a productive way. So, and everyone else have ways to siphon that energy. You know, I'm here for support. if you ever need. Okay. So that took a that was Intense Kenny. Intense Kenny comes out. Okay, bullying and education. Oh, I realized that a lot of my friends, a lot of my family, the people who I'm very close to. I mean, Robert, Jimmy, Miles, Aaron, Jake. Well, Jake doesn't work with kids directly, but the other four work with kids all the time. I used to be a professional clown at clowns.com. I understand that that's something that I didn't realize was very consistent with a lot of the people that I'm close to, is the meaningfulness of childhood and that energy, that youthful, hopeful energy. There's something magical to it. And so that's something that I realized. Oh, oh my gosh, I really enjoyed this video with Jenna from India. She's our first international interview, and she's like 9 or 10 hours ahead. Just remarkable, young woman. I just had a blast listening to her, and I really encourage you to watch that video. Um, and yeah, just how rampant in like a lot of the interviews with strangers, how so many of them um, were bullied, and getting back to how bullying really is a major crux of the issue. And I'm going to develop some ideas here too about anti-bullying initiatives and stuff. And I think that may be the wrong way to approach it. Yeah, yeah, bullying sucks, but we're human beings and we're sensitive. And it's almost inevitable that we'll feel wronged, or we'll feel, yeah, it's when we're younger, we will feel ostracized. So instead of anti-bullying, instead of talking about what we shouldn't do, maybe we instead should talk about what we should do. And what that is a radical empathy approach. We should learn how to, it's like a pre-parenting like workshop. There's this great book called Unconditional Parenting by Alfie Kohn. I'm going to put it in the description. And he talks about kind of like the basis of unconditional love and how we should be practicing that. That would be my approach, is to practice unconditional love and the actions that we can take so that others can feel supported and loved, rather than this idea of bullying and getting rid of it, because we'll always feel slighted. We're human beings. But if we can focus on love and empathy and support and cooperation, I think that may be a more helpful initiative forward with all of this, with inspiring people and making people realize that they actually matter. Okay, yeah, and then I'm gonna this is all to kind of shift social media. I really am not a fan of social media. I've said that in like all of my videos. And we need to start aiming towards supporting and watching media that is anti-establishment, anti-corporate, and I wrote down another word. Oh, and not sensational. Like I mentioned in my video with I mentioned in a video that there was a CNN news thing that came out that said the headline for like 10 minutes was like, Trump tells boy that he's Batman. Like, why is that on CNN? We gotta get rid of that, man. We gotta get rid of that shit. So I would love to learn about some other media outlets that are not sensational, that are anti-corporate and anti-establishment. And I'm gonna shout out Rising, on the Hill with Crystal Ball and Sagar. I don't know what his last name is, but he's great. Um, and so I'm going to shout out to them. And um, my final rumination and how what I'm wondering is how can we grow this movement, and how can we get more people to watch this stuff? You know, no one really likes to watch C-SPAN, but C-SPAN is the most educational channel out there. So how can we kind of like make this kind of like an interesting, fun way to learn about people's perspectives? How can we get more views? How can we get more subscribers to come in and to share their thoughts and learn more and listen to each other better and more? How can we make C-SPAN kind of cool? That's kind of what I'm interested in. How can we make C-SPAN cool and not like sell out? How do we not sell out to these commercial, gigantic media corporations? It's an uphill battle, but we can do it. We can do it. I We can do it, guys. I love all of you, and I'll be seeing you soon. Okay. Thanks again. Oh yeah. And if you are interested, if you haven't done an interview with a conversation with me, and you're watching this video and you're interested, you can go to my website, uh, kennyfedorko.com, and you can go to the contact tab and send me a message on there if you're interested in doing a conversation with me. I will include my email in the description below, and maybe I'll see you soon. Okay. All right. Take care. Bye. Thanks for listening, guys. Thank you. Anyone who's listening to me for this long is like definitely crazy, man. Okay. All right. Thank you guys again. Thank you for the support and for listening to me. Bye bye.